Political consultant Michael Geoghegan is in Victoria, BC, and we'll talk about this and some of the other political happenings of the week. What did you make of his statements at the summit?
Well, I thought they were very good and very welcome. I mean, we're on a planet of 7 billion people, and everyone who's looked at this issue has concluded that when women, are given education and are given choice, that reproductive rates decline. And like I say, for those who are concerned about the environment, who are concerned about human overpopulation, you have to get behind these sorts of initiatives of giving women around the world better access to education and choice.
Also, earlier this week, that huge announcement from the government regarding $200 million for veterans funding, but spread out over 50 years. Did the government, do you expect a chorus of complaints saying the government is misleading people?
Well, it's one of those things where sometimes people can get too cute and they're so smart they're stupid. I mean, the takeaway announcement is the $159 million for a new operational stress injury facility. And that is a significant development where the military and the Canadian government is recognizing that a lot of soldiers are coming home from the battlefield with post-traumatic stress disorder, and that requires treatment. So that's the good news takeaway. But by embellishing it and rounding up to a $200 million figure over 50 years, I mean, that got lost, and it just made the government look ridiculous.
In the long run, you think this is going to register during the election campaign?
I think the overall treatment of veterans will register because there's one thing that we all have expectations of conservatives versus liberals versus NDP. We expect a conservative government to put money into the military. We also expect a conservative government to treat veterans well. To the extent that the conservative government is being seen as not treating veterans well, that's going to cut into some of their core support.
All right, another topic now. Michael Sona, Mr. Robocalls, sitting in jail right now. Do you think, say, in a week, he'll still be there?
I suspect not, but there's definitely people within, who want him made an example. Now, his lawyers would argue, look, first-time offender, he's been given all kinds of publicity. It's not usual for people to go to jail over something like this, but I think there's just a real desire to see this type of crime, not so much the individual, but this type of crime made an example of. So at the end of the day, in terms of the legal back and forth, I suspect he'll be let out early. But nevertheless, all political parties need to realize is that if one party gets away with dirty tricks, the others will soon follow suit. So it's a game where democracy loses in terms of dirty tricks. So I certainly support clamping down on it.
Let's say he does get out on bail for his appeal. Do you think he starts talking a bit more in detail about what might have gone on?
Well, yeah, I suspect so. And again, it's one of these things where in so many of these scandals, usually it's the lowermost people who end up, taking the fall. But rarely would some kind of conduct like this. Rarely is it a rogue agent. Usually it's somebody where they've come up with this idea and then had people go and do it. In this particular case, I suspect he will have something to share with the public. But again, I think it's one of these things where it does democracy a tremendous disservice and Canadian political institutions a tremendous disservice when quite frankly, political activists try to get cute and cheat.
Michael, thank you very much. Have a great weekend and enjoy the Grey Cup.
Thank you. I will.